Guys, I've got the brand new REEFS 55 micro servo right here. This is a direct replacement to the Traxxas 2065 servo, all the way down to the same 25 splines. It goes right in, it's high voltage, way stronger in every possible way. I'm going to show it to you on the table, put it in this TRX4 right here, and take it for a drive. Let's go. The servos are in, as you can see right here. They bolted in beautifully. There are a few technical things I want to show you, like size comparisons and all that. Let's get right to that. Here it is, guys. Look at that beauty. Now, compared to the 99 micro is just a little bit longer. Now, this is to the 2065A. Look at this. Same 25 splines, same dimensions, but just better in every way, and it's programmable. I'm going to show you guys a little bit about the programming to make this work with the stock radio here real soon. Specs, be absolutely beautiful, man. I love this thing. Yes, it does come with servo horns. We got those. So yeah, but now you might be wondering about how it stacks up to like the AX24 servos, right? And here you go. Look at that. Now, overall dimensions are pretty close. It's just a little bit longer. But I mean, this will be easier to fit in one of those 124s than the 99 micro because it's just a little bit shorter. So now the 25 splines are not the same, but you can use any horn you want on this thing pretty much. Let's talk about servo programming. To set these up properly in here, you're going to need this programmer right here by REEFS, okay? The reason is these servos have 135 degree of travel to them. The transmission servo over here only needs 82, and I've got these right here set at 91, and you can adjust that with a laptop and this programmer right here, okay? So that's what you're going to need to do, but I mean, think about it. If you are legit, into your vehicle at this point, are you still running the stock radio? I mean, are you still running this thing right here, or are you modified up with any number of normal radios? And if you have any other radio, you've got your endpoints, you've got all that stuff. So plug and play, set your endpoints, and go. But if you run the stock radio, you're going to need this to make the necessary adjustments. If not, the servos will travel too far, no matter where you got them set on the splines, and you could have issues. Speaking of centered up on your splines, once you get these things powered up, I did not have to reverse any of these servos on the stock transmitter. They went right in, okay? You put the little slot on the servo horn right here for the front diff, right here for the rear diff. And on the transmission, in the forward position, you can see how this is engaged right here. Look at where that's at. Those are important. With the high voltage ability of these servos, you could pretty much run anything you want and volt it up as you wish. No bypassing around the receiver. Now, in my case, this receiver, well, that is kind of a limiting factor, but any other radio pretty much are all high voltage receivers right now. But I want to make this work here. The reason I've got the front servo unplugged is because this has a Traxxas Blue servo and it is really loud. So I unplugged that to make sure all my settings were correct. Another tip here is to go ahead and power this thing up and just let it sit. Diffs locked, diffs unlocked, all that stuff like that, right? And just see if anything gets hot right here on the table, because while you're out there driving, you don't want a servo just smoking on you. Because if you burn one of these servos up without setting the right endpoints and stuff, well, buddy, that's on you. At this point, we get to watch some servos move. Check this out. Here's your front diff, your rear diff. You spin this. That's what the Servo Savers do. Now, I've got these set at 91. Now, they do have some spring to them. There's still a little bit of tension on it, pulling on the cable. That's what you want. You don't want a lot, because these servos, if this cable is bound up, say you had a normal horn here, a straight horn, if all it needed was 3 more degrees, that servo is going to give you everything it's got to get that 3 degrees, and it will burn up over time. So there you go with the front and rear diffs. And the transmission, there you go. If you're wondering about the program, it is super simple. You can see the servo angle right here. You can adjust that all the way up, all the way down. If you've got the servo in something and you adjust it here, you got to readjust your endpoints. Your servo neutral, pulse width modulated power. This one's at 94.1%. That's kind of a safety factor. Dampening factor, 110. Sensitivity, ultra high. Different setups right here. Lose PPM protection. This is your default safety. Go to neutral position, keep position, or release. That neutral position, that's pretty much your neutral, right? Overload protection, 5.1 seconds. If the thing is in stall mode, it'll drop to 58.8%. These are adjustable. Level 2, if it's in there for 8.2 seconds, it drops to 47. 10.2 seconds, it drops to 31%. This is to help try to keep your servo alive when you do something stupid. And when you've got all this adjusted, click the right, and now it goes right to your servo, and your servo is adjusted. Now, after having said all that, let's take this thing out and give it a drive. Okay, let's test it out. That's in second gear right there. There's low gear. Now, don't ever shift while under heavy throttle. Not like I'm doing. Done. Simple, easy, positive engagement. Let's go do some crawling. All right, let's do some. This is kind of a shelf queen for me. Diffs are unlocked. We should see the evidence of that soon. Right there, let's go ahead and shift the front end. Boom, beautiful right there. Now we got to get something to where we can get the back to lock in. I have not engaged it yet, but we need to come up with something to make that back in needed. Let's see if we got something here. There we go. See that back tire not moving? Let's engage it. Look at that. Boom. So far the endpoints look good. They look like they're supposed to be right where they're at. And as far as the endpoints go, that's set obviously with the Traxxas radio that I'm using, but the overall servo angle is kind of what I'm referring to here. Now, not a limit of the servos here, this is the limit of the truck. Everything's still pulling beautifully. Yep. Pulling as good as it's ever going to pull. Like I say, this is kind of a shelf queen truck for me. So I don't really want to hammer it or roll it. And it does not want to make this pull, does it? Maybe I can get lucky though. Ha! Got it. Hopefully you guys made it past all the tech because there was a lot there, but I felt it really needed to be shown, especially dealing with this stock Traxxas radio. I do not have the Traxxas Bluetooth. I've just never bought one. Maybe one day I will, but regardless, I felt it was needed to show you guys the program and all that stuff in here. As far as the drive goes, everything shifted positive. It was solid. Everything engaged perfectly. And keep in mind, I'm still limited to 6 volts out of the ESC because of the Traxxas receiver. With your modified transmitters, receivers, and all that, which I know you guys are running in these things, right? You got to be running another radio, especially when you're going to go this far with it. So you can just simply set your endpoints and go. You don't need a programmer for that. But guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully you made it past the tech and you're all the way here because, hey, these little servos are nice. And I do believe very little modification, they'll go into all your 124s. Guys, have a great day. If you're still watching, you are top shelf. You are the cream of the crop, the pick of the litter. You are phenomenal. Thank you for watching to the end of the video. It means a lot to me. Now, down below, there are links for the products you see. Also for channel memberships, if you guys want to be a part. Channel members get early viewing on pretty much everything that I can. So, guys, check that description. There's a lot of info down there. Thank you all for watching.